Yeah, that's right, I know your ass. And I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep cooking the way I want. Said you wanted to cook, didn't you? Cook that nigga! Anybody wanna make some money, do shit the right way, then please, by all means, stay. But if not, get the fuck out!
All right, man.
You getting DP?
Just get the fuck out.
You motherfuckers.
All right. Now what?
Ever cooked before?
You serious?
I want to work.
All right.
If you don't know, man, you tuned in to Let's Yap About It. Even though I don't talk, but you got something to say. Stuck emotions out now.
Now y'all tuned in to Let's Yap About It. This ain't no podcast, it's a problem cast. I know why the name Fat Pimp Texas very own. Hey man, tell your baby mama I'm looking for her. Tell your wife I'm looking for her. That's what it is, man. Let's Yap About It, man. This ain't no podcast, it's a problem cast. Fat motherfucker Pimp, let's go, man.
Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Yap About It podcast, starring Raw Bass. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap. Let go. Let's Yap. We in the mix, Fit Too Savage. Let's Yap About It. Be exquisite. Stop by for a visit. Content was so living. Had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living. How the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes keep dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping. How the game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me, cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going. I fuck you up, no apologies. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Bit too savage like music.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back. We are back better than ever, man. Listen. Listen. We back, man. Listen, I wanted to tap in with y'all tonight, man. Listen, we doing something different tonight, man. We actually bringing everybody together on some topics that's been hot around the city, especially in the H town. Listen to me. I really want to tap into this, and I really want to get y'all perspective. We're gonna be talking about a couple of subjects tonight. Check it out. Listen to me. The H-Town down low list is out. There was a transsexual that released a video of a list of men in her DMs, and there's supposedly a part 2 coming soon. And what does this mean for the women of Houston? We explain why this is a thing tonight. Listen, we also want to go over something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's been asking my perspective on the Sanders versus the NFL and the coons that stand behind them. Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to the bottom when it came to the NFL draft. What happened? Was the NFL sending a message to the Sanders family? We're going to definitely get into that. And then we also want to get into this too. This whole controversy, the Kevin Gates versus LeBron James. Kevin Gates said what he said about Savannah James, and that was his perspective. She said something. LeBron James replied. Kevin Gates sat courtside at the Lakers game along with his date. So was Kevin checking the King's temperature? We're going to get into that tonight. And then we also want to talk about Lynn from the Oyster Hut was arrested on charges. Is this a case of people tired of seeing a man winning, or is this a clear case of guilt? We're going to definitely get into that tonight. And then we also want to talk about this. Why are people crashing out at an alarming rate? Society seems like to be taking a turn for the worse since the pandemic, especially with the summer coming. And Houston has been on the list for the murder capital of the world. Why? We're going to explain, and we're going to get into some specific details about that tonight. But I really, without further ado, and this is something new, and I just wanted to bring this to the attention of everybody. This is real, and this is coming from me. Welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's program. Please subscribe, share, hit the like button to let you know that we appreciate you for tuning in. Listen, the conversations we're going to have tonight are concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain, entertain, and most of all, explain in detail what we yapping about. So without further ado, we want to get to this first subject, and I'm going to be bringing somebody on, especially for this topic. H-Town down low list is out. There was a transsexual that released that video, especially on Facebook. It was about, I believe, about 18 minutes of scrolling, going through messages, and different people got caught from the north to the south to the east to the west. Supposedly there's a part 2 coming soon. And what does this mean for the women of Houston? And I'm going to go in and I'm going to give my take on it. And this is just an honest take. For that to transpire, and I'm saying this from a male perspective, I think it's a disservice to the culture, especially with those women involved. I'm speaking in general because I have a daughter. I have a daughter that is going to be coming up in the ranks and going to basically be able to choose from the men that are coming up in the future. And we see this right now becoming a normalcy. Would I have a problem with that? Of course, especially if she's chosen a man, thought that he was exactly who he said he was, and doing this type of particular thing, which I don't agree with. In 2025, the doors have been blown open for men to be exactly who they are, or for anybody to be who they are. But I want to say this. It's destroyed a lot of people. It destroyed a lot of faith in men. It destroyed a lot of faith in family. It destroyed a lot of the children in the process. And most people say, well, why? Because now that woman is going to be particularly left with the burden of being able or having to explain this about their significant other, exactly why they, chose to step out in the manner of which they did. And you have to be very careful with something like this, because a lot of times what we don't understand about these situations that came about, especially with this download list, this has been an ongoing thing for a while now. And for a lot of them, this ain't the first time, nor the second time, nor the third time that they've been caught. Now, most people are in an uproar. It's broken up friendships. It's done a lot of things. But nonetheless, can we admit right now in 2025 that Black culture is an overly sexualized culture? And then here's another contributing to that, and we're going to get into depths of that. What we got to understand about this list is this list was a good thing. This list was a good thing. So now that women can understand where they stand in the light of whoever they was talking to in the beginning stages, in the middle stages, probably getting ready to marry, probably getting ready to get in a relationship. This was definitely a good thing because now you know as the ladies what could possibly be going on in that personal man's life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get the representation of a person. We get that introductory part, which is all good, all nice, all sweet, but you don't actually know what that person is doing actually behind closed doors. And I think with this thing being a good thing is going to make women wisen up and do the due diligence of doing the research, because it's more to life than just being a cute face. It's more to life than just having his wallet real big. It's more to life to understanding that what your legacy is going to be attached to. Believe it or not, with these people being involved in this, they have rethought their lives all the way completely. Because guess what? Now they have an attachment to somebody that has been outed, and now they have to bear the burden of being that responsible person, of carrying that for the rest of their lives. But understand this, and here's another interesting thing to understand about this. There's a lot of dudes. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of dudes that are overly sexualized and too freaky. A lot of these guys have already done some things, and be clear, adding of the drugs, adding of the sexual molestation, adding of a lot of things that going on in the process of those dudes' lives. They haven't began to even say anything. And that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse, because you're supposed to go get yourself fixed. If you know that you're not right and you know that you got personal problems and mental issues and things like that going on of that nature, you got to fix yourself. And for you to actually include everybody else in your nonsense, man, that's a disrespect to the culture, and that's a disrespect to women as a whole. And if any man gets mad about it, you should be mad at yourself. See, here's the thing. You shouldn't be able to be in a situation to where you want to act tough and you want to be this particular one way, but then you want to hide and you want to be completely different in another. And here's the thing. You can't get mad at nobody for actually speaking on the situation because you decided to want to go play sports with the lady's son. And let me go into this, and I'm going to bring on somebody that wants to speak on this situation. And ladies, listen to me. If y'all want to come on, by all means, the floor is yours. We can talk about this. I want you to understand acceptance. And what I'm saying, acceptance. A lot of times you could be accepting to something so small to where it'll snowball into a huge mountain. A lot of times, a lot of ladies have seen those little particular signs. And make no mistake about it. And I want to show you something. Check this out. This lady right here, Shiraza Ali, The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. She wrote one as well as for the Black woman. And she also has one that has not circulated enough about, and this is her. This is the author of it. She said to how to tell if your man is on the down low. She wrote a book on this, and I think that book needs to be picked up, especially within our culture, for us to understand. Are we going to take 10 steps forward, or are we going to take 10 steps backward when it comes to the legacy of our children? But without further ado, I'm going to bring somebody up. Listen. I want to have this conversation, and I think that this conversation needs to be had. I'm bringing them up. By all means, you have the floor talk to me. What is your perspective on this situation, especially in the city of Houston? Go ahead. There we
I
go.
don't know.
Talk to
I
me.
mean, it's a real topic. It's going on. I'm not for them, and I'm not against them. If you want to go there with it,
Mhm.
um, people have issues, and people struggle with their issues, and it does not make it right. I just feel like, and what you said was so true that I mean, society has made it so easy for people to be themselves, but that's too like right. People don't like to be themselves, and then you have a lot of people that can lose a lot by revealing their true sexual identity, if that makes sense. They're scared to be
Mhm.
judged. You have people committing suicide because they've been outed. I just feel like, yeah, the transvestite was right, but then again, the way she went about it was wrong because you're jeopardizing a lot of though the men are jeopardizing their lives, but you're still jeopardizing a lot of people's lives, regardless of the situation. I don't stand with it. And I go in gay clubs, dominant male gay clubs, quite often with because my best friend, he's bisexual or whatever, gay, whatever you want to call it. He was down low for a long time, so he teach me a lot of things I need to look out for and pay attention to, and I always do. But that's a hard one right there. That gotta hurt.
And
Yeah.
and the reason why I'm tapping into this is because there's some other sides to look at this from a perspective.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of boys have been sexually abused, and
I agree.
they have not talked about that, and they've
I
hid
agree.
that even from their mothers,
Mm-hmm.
from their fathers, from everybody in the family. And let me be clear about something, and this is something that we don't observe very carefully. We look at everything right now in our culture of dating and I'm gonna say from the ages of 18 all the way to 35.
Mm-hmm.
That now everything that a man does now is sassy. For him to be standing
Please
up
tell him.
as a heterosexual, straightforward man,
Mm-hmm.
everything there's a huge 183 man and growing list of anything that a man does that is sassy. So now coming to the effects of a child that has been sexually abused or anything like that of that nature, and now trying to date in 2025, and that may be a part of his genetic makeup now. That is a
Mm,
very hard thing to do, to be able to come out and to say anything in relevance to that. You get what I'm saying? Because now
right.
you're being marked at for just being a masculine man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's right
Mm-hmm.
there is what creates a ripple effect for men to go undercover. You know what I'm saying? Even though 2025, anybody can do and say and do whatever they want to do as far as, whatever your sexual preference is, but that pressure of
Right.
that masculinity being shunned in our society. And I'm not saying that we're necessarily right now a matriarch based society, but
Mm-hmm.
they are grappling the foundation of what manhood is. And I think that that plays a huge part as far as men being able to be open to even talk about those things.
Right. Right.
And that's where I say you have to be careful at accepting certain things, because when you thinking that, let's just say a woman brings in um, a man that she thinks that is very fit for her family, and come to find out that he's been sexually abused, he may not be after your daughters, he may be after your sons.
Ah.
Now you see,
Ooh.
now even let's trickle down the effect. Let's just talk about this. We've talked about this on many a podcast, where even you bring in the father and then the children, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
he's got sons, or he could have daughters that have been sexually abused, and they get with your children. And
True.
then
It
now
happens.
this is exactly why you have to understand that
Mm-hmm.
picking your mate is a very, very,
Most
very
definitely.
serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
let me ask you something. Just from a woman's perspective, what do you think? Just give me a percentage, just round it off. What do you think the percentage of men down low in Houston alone?
Ah. It's high, just like Atlanta. I can't guess the percentage because I don't keep up with stuff like that. But I'm very aware that it has to be pretty high.
How
They
does
too
how
promiscuous. Not only the men, but the women are too. Just too promiscuous.
do
You
you
know,
would you say our society, black culture, is overly sexualized?
most definitely.
Now, the lasting term of effects, how does that make you feel as a woman, knowing what you know now, especially since this list has come out? Like, what has your perspective been since then, and then also with your friends, if if you associate with other women, like, have they known about it, have they talked about it,
Not
full extent?
really. We talked about it probably for a few minutes. Me, I was like, man, I was looking at it and I was shaking my head saying, thank God I'm not in the streets. I'm not dating. Thank God I ain't fooling with nobody. I ain't gotta worry about it. That's where my mind was at. I'll put it. But
And
yeah, I was like, whew, man. Yeah.
I think it's a wake up call. As I did a show maybe about a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
about the syphilis epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a joking moment, and we were looking at women being at about over 200%. And then that's
Mm.
not even including the men who actually go get themselves checked. And let's be honest.
Which they rarely don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
that
Mm-hmm.
men don't go get themselves checked
Mm-hmm.
on a regular basis, and that also is a long-lasting term of effect, as
It
far as
is.
our cohabitation together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think at this point in 2025, there's so much technology to prevent certain things from happening, but you
Yeah.
must carry your sexuality as just as something that's being holy, and the reason
But
why it
they're
has,
not.
and they're
They're
not.
not.
Yeah, it's.
It's the music. Let's be real. It's the music. It's the culture. It's 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 the alcohol, even the drugs. It's the society, and it's like the turn up lifestyle. It comes with it, and and they thinking it's man what you see on the videos and on YouTube. Come on, man. In our reality, they setting you up for failure. Like, look at Sexy Red. That's the disgust. She's disgusting. People like her is the reason why the STD rates are high. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Her music, what she promote, what she stand for. I mean, come on now. It's like, do people not see this? I'm just using her as an example. She's one of the many.
Mhm.
It's just like it's crazy. It really is. But then again, you have men and women. I would say how they display STD infections are two totally different things. So a man could get burnt, he'll rarely even know it. If that. A woman, she'll smell fishy, she'll have discharge, she's gonna know. She's gonna be itchy. It's gonna tell up. But a man, he ain't gonna really know, so he ain't gonna be able to get checked. Or he's waiting for his old lady to go get checked. And some of these females ain't doing that like they supposed to. You're supposed to go yearly. Or if something ain't right, you go before then. Stuff like that. So it's the turn up lifestyle, it's the hookup, what's that, the hookup generation that we're living in. They don't
Mhm.
want to settle down. Everybody want to go from partner to partner to partner, man. In Houston, good luck. Good
now,
luck. No.
now, and the reason why I really wanted to talk about this, and this is
Hmm.
going in depth about it. I
Right.
really did my research, and one of the things that I looked at was
Hmm.
this, right? Repetition is the mother of learning. They say repetition is
Right.
the mother
Right.
of learning, meaning that practice or repeating a task multiple times is a crucial way to learn and to develop skills. Now,
That's
what
how I
I
made it through school. Uh-huh.
exactly. So
Uh-huh.
even with the repetition, right? I
Right.
looked at how society has been dumbed down, right? As far as the
Hmm.
attention span from about, I'm gonna say about from 3 to 7 seconds. Now, with these choruses in the music being repeated, right? Repetition
Right.
is the mother of learning. You're
Hmm.
learning, you know what I'm saying? You're learning actually
Yep.
on a subconscious level on
Yep.
how to be accepting of what they're saying.
You know what
Now,
I call it?
what do you call it?
Us church folks call it ear gates.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in that process of that repetition of learning, you
Mm-hmm.
start learning and adapting, and that's
Yep.
all social engineering. So I
Mm-hmm.
noticed, and even Hollywood is doing this now. Hollywood is now finna get ready to start doing 3 minute. I think 35-second to 3-minute series on long TV series that are out on Stars and all of these, they're starting to get ready to start practicing because people's attention spans are
Mm-hmm.
so 7 seconds. So now I can see
Mm,
the downfall of our culture because
yep.
we're a lot online. So when it
Uh-huh.
comes to relationships, when it comes to understanding each other, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
critical thinking, when it comes to problem solving skills, they only got about 7 seconds of retaining
Mm.
information. Outside of that, everything else goes out the
Interesting.
door. And I've been looking
Mm-hmm.
at that. And even from
Mm-hmm.
a sexual standpoint, people like, okay, Pound Town, I just left Pound Town. You keep repeating the course over. So guess
Right,
what?
right.
Now you hear, now what's the saying?
Now,
I'm gonna get
what you
my,
want to do? Pound Town. You
yeah,
want to go to
what,
Pound Town?
when you want to go to Pound
Uh-huh.
Town,
Mm-hmm.
you want to get your back blown out. You want to, you know what I'm saying? I want you to rearrange my guts. All of that type of stuff has
Stupid
been now
stuff. Yeah.
implemented into society where
Mm-hmm.
look at the song, I was getting some head. That was back with Sean and DTP. We thought it
Mm-hmm.
was a cool song, but we didn't
Right.
understand the long lasting term of effects
Right.
of them ushering that in. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think like I said, I think it's a wake up call. Do you think women will be more woke up as far as dealing with men now in the Houston area?
I'm a little biased on it. It might be a little beginning of opening some eyes, but not really. They gonna get tricked again. It's gonna take a while. This stuff has been going on for decades.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's been going on for a long time. It's nothing new. It's gotten worse, actually. You know, it's now it's the beginning of something, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
Now this is to the fellas, man. Listen, this is something to talk about, and you know what I'm saying. Most people are embarrassed, but here's my thing: don't get caught and get tough. Now that's my thing. Don't get caught and get tough because you wanted to play swords with the lady's son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He
If
said swords.
you know what I'm saying? If listen
That's a
to
good
me,
one.
where
That's
you
a good
didn't
one.
know whether you wanted to stick it in,
Mm-hmm.
stick your Johnson in some, or you wanted to
Oh
rearrange it around
wow.
to your own self, man. Hey, that's on you. You feel me? Hey, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's your own personal business.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but I say don't include people in your shenanigans.
I
Don't
most
include
definitely agree.
do not involve the women that really
Mm-hmm.
want a real family dynamic, a family unit, and then you're
Yeah.
including them in and not even giving them a choice. Because here's the thing: a lot of times brothers don't understand this. When you give them a choice to stay or to go from whatever you telling them, if they're accepting, that's up to them. You don't
That's right.
remove the choice from a woman. You don't remove the options that she has to choose because it's
Cause you know
just as
why?
much as your life is hers.
Cause you
Talk
know
to me.
why?
Why?
If she really, excuse my language, I gotta get a little ghetto.
Come
If
on.
she really fucking with you,
Mm-hmm.
she'll lie to herself. Let's be real. For
Oh.
real. If she fucking with you the long way, whatever you tell her, she gonna rock with it. I'm telling you. I mean, you just gotta find your person. You gotta find the one who rocking with you. You ain't gotta lie about too much of nothing. Men don't know that. Just be real. Let me take it or leave it. She might get upset for a minute. She'll come back, or she just might not be with it. But that's okay. You just go find you somebody who with it. That's it.
I think I
Yeah.
think I think in this situation you hit the nail on the head as far as you just being
Hmm.
honest
Yeah.
because a woman will deal with more honesty than she will dishonesty because if you lie about the small things, imagine what you're gonna lie about on a larger scale.
Man, look.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Like I had messed with a married man before. Did not know he was married. Found
Mhm.
out after a year of dating him, okay? Found out he was married. He still reach out to this day. But I can't fool with him like that because if you lie about that and you disloyal, I just ain't no telling what else you'll lie about. That's serious.
You ain't
But all
lying.
he had to do, we not together, ain't working out. We going through the divorce. I would have still rocked with him and gave him some time to get a divorce. He didn't know that. But now, I mean, the bridge is burnt. Ain't no coming back from that.
You
You
know,
know?
I sat many a day with my friends at the gambling shack, and we exchanged stories.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most interesting stories that he told me was that he met a chick that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
all that in a bag of chips. Now,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, she was an FBI agent. You know what I'm saying? And
Interesting. Okay.
so he met an FBI, he met an FBI agent. And so
Scary.
when she told him her occupation, he
Mm-hmm.
felt like he had to one up. So he,
Gotcha.
he didn't tell her like he was this, you know what I'm saying, something that was believable. You know what this
Mm-hmm.
fool said?
What?
This fool said he worked for NASA as an astronaut.
She was he play too much.
Listen, listen,
He was gonna
listen,
find out regardless.
listen. I say you didn't keep your lies on Earth. You went out of space with your lies. You feel me? I gotta give you a salute on that one. Now check this out though.
Went
Now
out of
check
space
this
with your
out.
lies. You play too much.
Listen. He didn't stay on planet Earth. Now the funny
That's
thing is,
funny.
they went
Mm-hmm.
on dates, had a
Uh-huh.
great time, did
Right.
all of that, and when it
Uh-huh.
came to doing the do, she
Mm-hmm.
stopped him and she said, "I have something to tell you." And he was
Oh
like, "What?"
gosh.
So let me tell you something. One thing that a nigga gonna do
Huh.
is when he caught to the dead wrong. She says, "I know you're not an astronaut." And the first thing he did was went high pitched, squeaky voice. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? No. He's like, he's like,
This shit fucking
he told him. She said, "I know you ain't no astronaut," because she did.
Yeah.
She looked him up. You know what I'm saying? Because they got access to that.
Yeah,
She said, "It's not
exactly.
the point that you lied." She said, "Because I really liked you. I really
Mm-hmm.
did like you, but I
Mm-hmm.
cannot fool with you
Yep.
because you lied." She's asking, "Why did you lie?" He
Right?
said, he said the only thing he could say what a real nigga would say, "You was too damn fine."
Good God.
He said,
I
I had to
can't.
say, he said, when you said FBI, I had to come up with something because I knew you wasn't gonna fool with me if you wouldn't have gave me a chance. I said, but look, you ruined your own chance by even
Uh-huh.
going through the whole bunch of lies, man. Shout out to my boy.
The
And he
astronaut
say,
quick.
he say astronaut. I was like, he's cold blooded with that one,
He
but
was quick on his feet.
man, I said astronaut, bro. And it just made me think about my grandfather working for NASA and stuff. I was like,
Uh-huh.
why would you even?
Nice.
You could have said
Mm-hmm.
anything, school teacher,
Something,
something, dog. But he said an astronaut, or he could have even said janitor. You work the toilets. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
You're a janitor. You working at least I got a key code. You know something. But I don't know, man. But shout
That
out
is
to my boy though.
hilarious.
But on this download situation, man, listen,
Mm-hmm.
my heart goes out to the women of the city. My heart goes out to the people that you know what I'm saying that have been hurt by it because now
Right.
you're talking about PTSD now. You know what I'm
True.
saying? This is traumatic. Especially when she's thinking that I'm all that you need, but guess what? I don't have the tools, aka, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, that you ain't even interested in. You interested in sticking your hand in the pickle jar. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
he, he, he don't want to go get a cookie. He want to go get a pickle. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying? So it is what it
gosh.
is. You know, and then
Mm-hmm.
add in the effects of STDs.
That's true.
STDs being a huge factor in that. Man,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? And these women that may have gotten checked, they don't know and probably don't even want to say nothing at this point. So just
Yeah.
imagine the domino effect of what it does to our society. So shout
Mm.
out to the women out there in Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So let me ask you this. As a person, what do you think women should do now? You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been on the east side to the west side to the north side and the south side, and they all been talking about it. So, and then I've also seen a lot, and what I haven't seen is a lot of public figures that are known in Houston talking about it. So that's what makes me very curious of something that is something so big that is pertaining to the culture. They not saying nothing about it. So, what would you say to the women on how to protect themselves and how to deal with something like this now? You know what I'm
Pay
saying?
attention. Keep your eyes and your ears open. Yeah. And I hate to be this is so irrelevant, but then again it's not. Get you a gay homeboy that like men. He gonna sniff it at
So,
quickly.
so let me ask you this. So, do you think that now at this point of where we are with this list, do you think as far as that's going to change the long lasting effects of relationships in Houston, Texas?
No, they're gonna still do what they're gonna do. This
And the
thing is
re-
spiritual. This thing is stronger and bigger than we think it is. You know, it really is.
Mhm.
It's bigger than what we think it is. People got addictions, and I ain't talking about drugs. I'm talking about sexual addictions. They gotta have habits.
Sex
People
demons.
like to be complacent in their living situations, and it's man, it's bigger than what we think it is. You know,
I,
that's like going to New York and try to kill all the rats. Good luck.
oh yeah. Oh man.
Good
Hey,
luck. You
man,
know.
the rats are so smart in New York. They know how to cross the street when the red light and green light. Shout out to
Okay.
so I've seen them. They wait on the red light. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'll be paying attention to all that. I just be trying to get out the way.
Man, listen. Man, at night, man, it's a monster out there.
I
But no,
leaves. I go in at night. I don't play around in New York at night.
now, now you know what? Now, interesting. As far as this list has came out, I wonder what. I'm pretty sure people in the medical field know about this and are you know what I'm saying, know their whereabouts of what's going on in the city. I wonder what the medical take is going to be as far as this, because for people to say, "Oh, was minor?" Nah, this wasn't minor. Man, a
Hmm.
lot of people are
What do you
aware
mean
now.
medical? Because I've worked as a nurse in Houston a couple of times, and it's pretty bad.
It is bad.
Oh gosh, I've worked in. Yes, it's bad. STD rates are horrible in Houston. As I traveled around the United States, this has been the worst state. Me personally, I hate to even say it. It was worse than Atlanta to me.
See?
It
And
was. They walking around with two and three of them at the same time.
oh
Yeah,
man, come on
yeah.
now.
So it's nothing for that to happen. You'd be surprised.
And
So
I kind of believe you because I've
no, I've seen
noticed.
it.
And I'm not saying necessarily, but I've seen it in a lot of the youth. A
Yeah.
lot of the
Hmm.
youth. When I say we talking about their lives are already done at 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. And I'm
Yeah, I had
like,
them young in their
God,
20s,
dog.
but they would be mostly like gay boys. You
Man,
know,
it's
coming in. I would see that more often than anything. A couple of older women, but I would mostly see gay guys. Hmm.
but so it made me think about what you just said. So you think that the women are settling knowing the fact that they are the way that they are and they're just becoming accepting of it?
I think that they're probably women that was on crack or on
Mm-hmm.
crack or they dealing with an old school crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do. They out there. So I think that's what happened. But I never ask. I just go in, I talk to them, take care of them, whatever. But you know, like I said, Houston, it's bad. That's why I be scared to do anything too much. You know, it's pretty bad.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a stab at this, and I'm gonna say that this is the results of, I'm gonna say, adultery, fornication, and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's out there now. Most people don't like to admit that, but that plays a huge intricate factor on the results of you breaking the bond that you have with that woman or that woman with that man. And the reason why I said the whole young age is because when I did this episode, it's about a year ago. And
Hmm.
we were laughing and we were joking, and what I'm saying, I was giving my little crazy opinion about it. 200%. And that's cases that are known. We're talking about people that are walking
I
around that
know.
have not even been checked yet.
I
That is a
know.
scary thing. And the reason why it's very scary is because you have this whole thing, the cougar thing, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And now that playing an effect of getting with, and I got a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And I want her to have a pick of the best. I don't want her to just be with anybody. And the reason being is because it's just as much as she's my legacy, I want her legacy to be impactful with the man that she attaches herself to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's why I take it very seriously.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? I thank you for giving your perspective out here because we don't have any women. Some women are scared to step forward and say anything because they may be going through a situation or may have gone through a situation. But I long built
You'll
this
be
black.
surprised. A lot of people
Yeah.
have. They just don't say nothing.
And
A
and,
lot
and
of people have, and phew, a lot of people have. And I've been seeing these numbers creep up for the past 5 years. I've been telling people about Houston for the past 5 years, and nobody really took me serious until them stats came out. I said I've been telling y'all this. This is what I've been seeing as a nurse. It's real. People thought it was a joke. It's not a joke. This stuff is going on. And people can pretend all they want when they're in your face, but when you in that hospital room and it's just you and them, they cannot fake who they are to you. They cannot. They can't fake nothing. So it's crucial out here, my man.
you should
It
not
really is.
you should not be praying to God before you get your test results. You should not be saying, God, now come on now, I've been faithful and I don't ask for much. Nah, 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 nah. How you move, how you do one thing is how you do all
Not
things.
necessarily. You got good people getting caught up with the bad too.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
you
talking
can't
about.
you can't, prejudge that one.
No, no, no. And that's what I'm saying. Those people involving the good people, and
I
then
know.
they're getting caught in the rapture of that nonsense.
That's right.
And that's why I say, and I'm gonna tell the story, and this was interesting. I was in a a Ralston's, and this lady, she was coming to get something to drink. Now, mind you, she didn't get no small bottle. She got a liter, but she got
Mm-hmm.
three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was, what I'm saying, I was like, God dang, she kind of drinking it kind of heavy. Or I was thinking she was on a party.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Man, I looked, and so it was like, man, and so I just, it's like, man, and the lady was like, "Ooh, you finna party tonight?" She said, "No, I'm not finna party tonight." She said, "No, I got a lot on my mind." And so the lady was like, "What you
No.
mean? What you got a lot on your mind?" She said, "Well, my husband, there was a surgeon. She said I found out some things about him that I was not happy with, and I have
Mm.
to now get myself checked." And I was like, "What do you mean?" So
Uh-oh.
she was like, "A husband who was a surgeon
Mm.
had got with somebody else. He had left his
Yeah.
laptop open or whatever, and
Yeah.
she had seen. I guess he had his email or whatever open. Come to
Mm-hmm.
find out that he was on the down low, and he was
Oh
sleeping with
man.
another surgeon. And then
Oh man.
after that process, she didn't know what to think at that point because
Of
now
course.
you feel me." And so she was drinking because she was awaiting the test results of her husband
Mm.
of hers because of her husband, because of that, you know what I'm saying, that whole entire situation.
Wow.
So that's why she was drinking. But that always stayed with me, to be careful. That always
Right,
stayed with
right.
me because she was a good woman, you know what I'm saying, to not involve herself and to be faithful, only for him to be stepping out. And he's a surgeon, you know what I'm saying. This ain't no, small, no,
Exactly.
he ain't no hood dude. This is a dude that
They
has
all
rolled,
have issues.
you know what I'm saying? Come
People
on.
think because you're in white coats and because you're in scrubs, you're exempt and you're so healthy, you're so this. No, no. You're human, just
And
like
I
anybody
and
else.
as a lady, I fear for you because for me to hear you say that, and my heart goes out to all the women of Houston. My heart goes out to them because, like, man, like there are some good guys, but they're gonna be so fearful of bringing somebody in, especially if they thought that this guy was solid. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't exactly who he said he was. So that right there, it made me to speak up and to say something for y'all because nobody's speaking up for y'all properly. So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ladies out here. You know what I'm saying? Is holding the family unit down. And
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I have to give you a round of
Let
applause
me
and
ask you
definitely
this.
respect.
I always try to look at the bigger picture of everything.
Mhm.
Did all of them know that he was actually a man? Did he tell them? There we
That's a
go.
hard thing.
I'm gonna
That's
let you
a
ponder on that.
that's a hard thing because
That was a beautiful man.
but my thing is this, and I'm gonna be 1,000 with you. I'm not that overly sexualized to not pay attention to
Right.
what you are, who you are. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that, see, because we know that the makeup is what you call is an enchantment to enhance whatever, whatever, whatever.
Supposed to.
So, you know what I mean? As it should, as it does.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too caught up into not looking directly to see what's going on. Like now, and I'm not. This is not a knock. you got some that know how to chop it all the way down to the, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then you got some that you could tell you like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing, RuPaul. You know what I'm saying? Come on, stop it, knock it off. But what I'm saying is you have to, as a man, now be more in depth and
I
more
heard.
precise now to
Mm-hmm.
know what you're dealing with. And I got somebody down at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? I got my boy up here, you know, he might want to chime in.
All right, I'm checking out.
Check it out, man. Definitely thank you for being a guest. And like I say,
Absolutely.
man, if any other women want to come out here and speak up, man, by all means, this is the platform to do it. You can talk, you can speak. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed you, man. And until the next time, man, we definitely gonna
Likewise.
yap about it.
All righty.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Bye.
sure. Bye. So yes, so yes. That was something that was in depth. You know what I'm saying? We got firsthand some different information. We got a woman's perspective. Like I told you, this is a perspective of everybody. Everybody could get on this platform and be able to speak their piece. Um, by all means, you know what I'm saying? If you want to come up, by all means, man, come on up. Hold on, your camera. Hold on. But I also want to say this, and I want to bring this up to speed too. Um, about that list, to the ladies, please watch yourself. Please go and do an in-depth, do your research. Understand that your life is not to be played with, it's to be respected at all times. Allow yourself to understand who you're dealing with and in the manner of which you're dealing with them. Don't be so, you know what I'm saying, mesmerized. Don't be so intrigued about the outside, except of what you don't know about his insides. So, ladies, I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to focus on that and energize yourself on the intellectual side and as far as how he moves. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in all of the talk. Don't get caught up in all of the sayings and whatnot. Definitely do your research and know who he is so that you can be safe as far as physically, emotionally, and mentally. Shout out to y'all ladies, though, for real, for real. I wanted to talk about the Sanders, the Sanders versus the NFL and the coons that have backed them up. Shador Sanders fell all the way to the bottom of the draft when it came to the NFL draft. What happened? Was the NFL sending a message to the Sanders family? I want to give my perspective on that, and I think that this has to be talked about. What we got to understand is that the Sanders family name is a big name. Um, since prime time, Deion Sanders, he's been one of the most um, prolific and one of the most outstanding figures that we've ever seen, not just only in football but also in baseball. One of the many brothers that played two sports. You know, a lot of people um, had controversy exactly when he was doing that back in the day, and he's actually a World Series champion and he's also an NFL champion. Most people don't understand that about him. You know what I'm saying? He's actually an NFL champion and a World Series champion. A lot of people can't say that. And for him to be in a conditional shape of which he did and what he accomplished, I sent a special shout out to Deion Sanders because a lot of brothers weren't able to do that. But nonetheless, he has a son that has now come up in the ranks. And guess what? He did everything that he was supposed to do. Now, most people are trying to nitpick exactly of what he did off the field. But as of today, I found out that he was actually taking his time and putting in the work as far as charities and as far as the people. But I want to say this to the Coons, and I want to talk directly about them to the Chris Carters and everybody else, and to the other Coons of the world. As a black person, I look at this situation as a win for us all, and the reason why I look at it is because he came up in the ranks and he did everything. It was a disservice for the NFL to pick Travis Hunter to go the way that he did, and then to put him at the bottom. This was just another ploy and another plot for them to keep us at a separation. Make no nonetheless, Travis Hunter wouldn't have the stats that he had if it wasn't for Shador. And as a black man in America, trying to figure things out, trying to fight, trying to be successful, understand this. And this is for the ladies, and I want y'all to understand this. And this is for the fathers who probably never even thought about this. When you're going into positions of power, when you're going into positions of where money, power, wealth, and influence are an important part, we have to move and have to go 3 to 4 times as hard than any other white counterpart. Make no mistake about that. They make sure that we have our I's dotted and our T's crossed on everything that we do. Now, to look at it from this perspective of, should we really, as far as with the money that we've accumulated in the NFL, still be trying to seek approval from a place that treats you like an inmate? Should we really be fighting for a spot in a space that treats us like a number, just like a spin number? Understanding that they can repeat, they understand. And I want you to understand the power of what's controlled here, of being able to regurgitate over and over the same players, whether you're a safety, whether you're a running back, whether you're a fullback, whether you're a quarterback, whether you're a wide receiver, that could be regurgitated over and over because they control both sides of the spectrum. I look at it from a geographical standpoint because of where this man came from, where he transitioned to and became successful in both parts. Think about this. You just heard me say that you had to go 5 and 6 times as hard. And guess what? He just didn't do that one place. He did that 2 places. And for him to be treated that way was disgusting. It was a disservice to black culture, and most of all was a disservice to the Sanders family because of all the work that he put in to make the sport interesting and entertaining the way it is today. Shout out to Prime Time, man. Shout out to Prime Time. Shout out to Prime Time. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. And shout out to the amazing things that he's done. And as far as him pulling himself up by the bootstraps, he still got picked. And I want him to give them hell for the Cleveland Browns, man. For real. Shedeur, keep on going, keep on growing, keep on doing your thing, man. You got 100% of love, respect, and admiration for what you've done for the NCAA, man. You made the NCAA millions of dollars. You made the NCAA entertaining. You made the NCAA want to be watched as far as football, as far as entertainment, and most of all, as far as your winning persona, man. Shout out to you, man. I definitely got to give you another round of applause, man. Salute. Oh, yeah. And I'm definitely going to be copping me a Shedeur Sanders jersey, man. Definitely, man. Shout out to him, though. For real, for real. But I wanted to talk about this, too. From the NFL to the NBA, I definitely want to talk about this. Kevin Gates said what he said about Savannah James, and LeBron James replied. Kevin Gates sat courtside at the Lakers game along with his date. So was Kevin checking the King's temperature? I would say this, and I want to get my perspective on this because some people asked me about this. And I wanted to say specifically that it wasn't anything that was that serious. You know, the media can try to spin something and to make it out of something because that's what makes, you know what I'm saying, that's what makes people tune in, chime in, and get the people talking. But nonetheless, he was actually given an honest perspective. He was given an honest perspective because that's just who Kevin Gates is. If anybody's known who Kevin Gates is, he's always going to have a different take on about things. Secondly, what you got to understand is he was talking to somebody, and he also gave love. Now, sometimes we can become tone deaf. African Americans, we as Black African Americans, we can become tone deaf to situations, and when other people hear them, it can set them off. Like I told you, we live in a society that has a 5 to 7 second attention span. So what he said was all they heard was a lasting effect of clickbait, and then it set it off as a chain of events. Now I'm gonna say this: Savannah James responded, LeBron responded, but I felt like it was not even that serious. because that's just his perspective, and he has every right if he's talking and having conversation. Now, make no mistake about it. Anytime you put something on the internet, it becomes public. It can be publicly criticized. Nonetheless, don't get me wrong about that. But understand that it was just his honest opinion, and he, like he said, I had love for LeBron, and I ain't got no, no issues or whatever. And you already know how he feels. He gonna die what he stand on. That's just who Kevin Gates is. But I felt like in that situation, it could have been highlighted just a little bit more in detail. But we already know that it was made for clickbait. But for him to sit down on the side of the court side, man, the man loves basketball. If anybody knows Kevin Gates loves basketball. Now, was he trolling at that point? It could be a possibility that he was. But nonetheless, he came very comfortable. He was with his woman or whatever. And then at the end of the day, nothing happened. He sat there. He didn't come with 30 or 40, 50, 60 people with an entourage. He came by himself. So if anybody wanted to make something out of it, yes, the media was going to make something out of it. But it didn't turn into anything, and it should not turn into anything, even though he's actually dropped a song, I guess, about the situation in itself, which makes sense because why? You know what I'm saying? We live in a era to where if you actually get some attention, hey, drop a song about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to say this, which is a very interesting thing. If it was me in that situation, I probably wouldn't have said anything. And the reason why I wouldn't have said anything is because I live for who I live for, and that's for my family. You know what I'm saying? This is something minute, something that doesn't even matter. And something like me, if I was ever in that position, I probably wouldn't have ever said nothing. I probably would have laughed it off, or I wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? But we know that we live in a culture, especially within Black culture media, to where you get pressured into saying certain things. I don't give a damn, because at the end of the day, if these checks clear, hell, I don't give a damn about what anybody got to say. So, but still. But shout out to Kevin Gates. Shout out to LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happened of it, and it's over. So, you know what I'm saying? Give him some love. Now, I wanted to talk about this too, and this was something that was out here on the perspective. Lynn from the Oyster Hut was arrested on charges. Is this a case of people tired of seeing a man winning, or is this a clear case of guilt? I'm gonna give my take on this because people ask me about this, because I've went to the Turkey Leg Hut not once, not twice, not three, not four, not five. I've went to the Turkey Leg Hut a lot. I never got a chance to go to the Oyster Hut. But for me to watch exactly what happened in that situation and how it transpired, we don't know yet. We don't know the facts. We don't know the details. We don't know exactly what's what in the case. Now, I'm going to say this. As far as him to have a business, lose the business, he gets away from the business closes. He opens up another business thrives, business is successful. Now this. Now, understand, make no mistake, I'm not picking a side here, but I want us to look at something. For as far as how hard he had to work in order for him to lose something that was so sacred and so special to him, only for him to let it go. Do you know how much it would take a person to let go of something that they created, something that they put the blood, sweat, and tears into, something that they created from scratch? And most people are going to say, oh, wait a minute, what it was the... No, listen. It was his recipe. It was his formula. It was his strategy. It was his details. It was his specifics on where he lined up everything for the Turkey Leg Hut to be successful. And for that to be taken away, just imagine of about how many people have been bought out their businesses or been put out and shut out, and how much of an ego that you've had and a pride that you've had behind your business only for it to be stripping away from you. You tell me how you would feel. You would tell me how you would feel if you've poured countless of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions into something, only for it to be stripped away from you because somebody felt like they were in the right to take it from you. Most people don't understand this about business, and I'm talking from a business perspective. Most people want to own a business, but most people don't want to run a business. You don't understand. And we're not even talking about the restaurant business to where you have multiple personalities. And when I say multiple personalities, we're talking about just with the staff alone. We ain't even talking about customer service and what it takes day in and day out of what you have to deal with on a personal basis. People coming in with good attitudes, people coming in with bad attitudes, people coming in with fuck it attitudes, people coming in, I don't give a damn attitudes, people coming in with, man, I'm gonna do a half-ass job today, people coming in with, I'm gonna do a full good job today. Imagine having to balance that out 365 days a year. Now imagine just in the restaurant business. Now just imagine from a barbershop business or a beauty salon business of the personalities that you have to deal with in your chair and the personalities you have to deal with out your chair. Like I said, most people want to own a business, but most people don't want to run a business. And you don't understand what it takes. And if you've never had a business, you need to be quiet. If you never ran a business, you need to be quiet. If you've never put in the blood, sweat, and tears like Lynn did, then you really need to sit down and you need to think over about what business is and the meaning of it. For him to lose something and to regain it and work twice as hard, 3 times as 4 times as hard. Remember what I told you. To be a success in to be a success in white American and black America, you got to go 5 times in black of America and 10 times in white America. You got to understand the roadblocks and the pitfalls that are put ahead of you for you just to fail. You don't understand how much people come together to conspire against you to destroy you. You don't understand that a successful business that may have stood for 1 or 2 years, there are people gunning for you and waiting for you to lose. And I'm talking to my black counterparts, and I want you to understand that when you start something, understand that there are going to be people that will not patronize your business because you're you. Understand that there are people that will not watch this podcast because it's me. But frankly, I don't give a damn. Shout out to him though. Because I'm going to continue to drop jewels. See, the thing is, I'm not trying to sound click and sound bite anything. I want to spark the brain and yet entertain and give you something that you can go away with. See, a lot of people thought that I was going to go in on Lynn and try to make this out to be a spectacle. Nah, I want people to think about certain things when you get ready to open your mouth and you get ready to keyboard, crip, blog, and blood and mouse pad mobster your way onto a conversation which you don't know nothing about. Understand when it comes to black business, yes, there should be a pride thing. There should be a respect factor, especially when we know that we are dead last and make up 0.5% of the nation's wealth when we're not even creating jobs for our own people. So if you think that I was finna get up here and actually bash Lynn, nah. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because there's a lot of people from when he first started never wanted to see his business grow in the first place. There are a lot of people that are upset, and there's a lot of people that are happy at the fact of what he's going through because they feel that they should have their entitlement, their arrogance, and all of the things that are contrary to making a business work effectively. They wanted a piece of the pie. Make no mistake about it. That man was talking about shucking. He went from turkey legs to shucking. And guess what? He became a success. Not once, but twice. And at the end of the day, if you don't understand what greatness is, then I don't know what to say about you. But much love and much respect to Lynn. I hope he beats it. You know what I'm saying? He comes out scot-free and he's able to get back to business because definitely I want to taste the Oyster Hut. Shout out to him, man. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about this. Why are people crashing out at an alarming rate? Society seems to be taking a turn for the worse since the pandemic, especially with the summer coming and Houston being on the list for the murder rate. Why? We are definitely at a disadvantage when it comes to our culture now. Now with us being the murder rate capital of the world. And the reason why I say this is because it seems like the nonsense is outweighing the logical at this point of where we are in our society. And we have to be very careful of our association with certain things. Because, like I told you, when you accept one thing, you have to be accepting of it all. And I use this for as an example because when we don't understand the lasting term of effects of things, you will understand your socioeconomic value, not just towards yourself, not just towards your family, but to the other people around you. You must understand that success right now is the reflection of someone's failure, and you are food. There are people that have been programmed to get it how they live. If they live savage, they're going to bring it to you savage. They're going to survive savagely, and they're going to take it from you savagely. This is where we at in our society, where the peaceful people are now are disturbing the people that have those issues, that are out in the streets, that are out getting it how they live, that are in survival mode. And you have to be very particular. You have to be very in depth about who you bring around. And the reason why I say people are crashing out at an alarming rate, because I told this young man, I said, you are not scared to die, but you're afraid to live. See, what comes with living is thinking. What comes with thinking is a direction. What comes with direction is the navigational part of where you're trying to go and where you're trying to grow. And a lot of times people are crashing out because life has become too hard for them. A lot of them have played around. A lot of them have messed around, made bad decision after bad decision. And you've heard me say this on my TikTok lives. A lot of people have built the insane asylums that they live in. And I tell them all the time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Make no mistake, the people that you associate with, you are not destined to push them up to where they're supposed to be. They have already supposed to have established that within themselves. Now, what you can do is you can spark something that they may have lost, but it has to be in them. It has to be in them. It cannot be denied. If something is already in you, that you cannot achieve that same success. You heard me just talk about that about Lynn. It was in him. It was proven. But understand that there are so many people that do not want to see you reach your full potential. Let me tell you something. In this society, if they feel like they can't get it out of you, they'll kill you just because you have it. And when I say that, I'm not saying literally in the sense because they can kill you, whether it's a gun or a stabbing, but they can actually make you die a slow death. And understand, people that have nothing to lose will help you lose everything. So you have to safeguard yourself, because a crash out don't just include the people that they may be just getting into it with. You may be an innocent bystander. You may be what we call collateral damage behind somebody else's crash out. You know how many families have been taken out on the strength of being associated or involved with somebody else's shenanigans and foolishness? Do you understand? If you think about these things before you step outside and you understand where your socioeconomic value is, then you'll start thinking twice about who you associate yourself with, who you having conversations with, what is on their mind. Do they even have God in their mind? Do they have God in their spirit? Do they even have attention span faster than 5 to 7 seconds? Understand that there are people right now that have built an insane asylum of bad choices, bad decisions, freedom that they thought they had, which they never had, which they've led to believe that they had by the people that they associated themselves with, only for them to realize that they were trapped in a hell. Most people don't think about that. Most people don't think about the things that they've done to others, and that there may be a small payback, and there may be a little bit of a rearranging and a course correction of what the things that you've done wrong that you now have to suffer for. Most people don't come into mind when it comes to that. Most people want to ignore that. Let me put that in the back of my mind and act like it doesn't exist. Let me not give the real me and the true essence and the concept of shame in front of you because I feel like I'm perfect. No, that's not what life is. That's not what life is about. Understand that where we are in our society, we're supposed to be growing. We're not supposed to be stagnated. We're supposed to know how to differentiate between what's real and what's fake. But we've become so accepting of the fake to where the real scares us. Why are people crashing out? It's because they've become overwhelmed with the bad decision making to now they want to get close to somebody so that they can destroy them so that they could have company. Misery loves company, don't get me wrong, but also broke people like company too. A lot of times, like I said, in your successes is a reflection of their failure. A lot of time they'll start throwing the monkey wrenches. They'll start throwing in the doubt. They'll start throwing in the negative. They'll start throwing in the distractions to keep you from reaching your full potential. That's why you have to safeguard your spirit. You have to safeguard you as a person, because at the end of the day, if two people are working in as a conglomerate to build better, then why are we halfway and half-ass doing things around here if we're supposed to be putting in 100%? That's the thing. Time will tell. You have to do a self-evaluation. Sometimes you have to go into your inner self to understand where you are and where you're supposed to be. And I want to talk about this, and I want to grab this. And I want to talk about this because this is so important. So important. I want to bring this up right here. And it's the word of the day. The word of the day, mental instability. Mental instability is a broad term referring to difficulties in regulating emotions, thinking, and behavior, which can manifest in various ways. It doesn't necessarily equate to a formal diagnosis, but is one to somebody actually being in a situation to where they're borderline psychotic. The reason why I say this is because I ran across a post and it inspired me to talk about this. And that thing is mental instability. When I heard Young Miami talking on her podcast about her validation with life and what as she goes through these emotions up and down. And I'm going to tell you what plays a huge intricate part in that. If you start looking at your attention span, start matching your attention span with the things that you look at and look at your moods from day to day. You start adapting. Remember, I told you repetition is the mother of learning. So what you start doing is taking on the behavioral traits of what you see and what you interact with day to day. From those 7 seconds, those 7 seconds could be increased from 7 to 14 seconds for you to be happy, sad, angry, moody, crying, up. That's because when you're looking at your TikTok, it's going to match whatever that you're looking at repeatedly. So everything that you scroll up and scroll down on becomes a part of you. That's why data is so important in 2025. They want to get to know you so that they can turn you into a mindless consumer to where you think that you're going to consume your way out of an emotional instability. But it doesn't work like that. When have you ever heard somebody from Trinity Garden talking like this? When have you ever heard somebody on a podcast breaking shit down like this? Because they don't want you to know. And I'm here to let you know exactly how important this thing is called life. I want you to understand how important it is for you to understand that when your children are going through these moods, start looking at the TikTok, see if they're repeating see if the patterns are repetitious with what they're learning in the process of what they're doing and their process of what they're doing. And that is the actual outcome of their behavior. I don't guess my way through this. You know how I know? Because I work for them. You went from mad to angry to sad to happy to crying to giggling, all within a matter of about 62 seconds, 48 seconds. Just as fast as you flip through different things that you see on TikTok and Instagram, it's just as fast as your mood changes. Are you starting to get the picture? Are you starting to understand why our society is the way that it is? And when you see people with mental instabilities, look at their phone, look at them, look at them, look at their phone, look at them, look at their phone, look at their socioeconomic status, look at them, look at their phone, look at their socioeconomic status, look at their parents, look at their socioeconomic, look at their phone, look at their parents, and then also look at the outcome of what they want to be. From the legacy of where that child is from then to now, where is that legacy going? Is it growing? Is it stagnated? Or is it on a decline? That's why it's important. When you see me talk about these topics about people being down low, when you see me talk about these topics about certain things that men and young women go through, just like when I just told you about Lynn, just like what I told you about the Sanders family, about having to be competitive, 10 times as competitive to go into a market that's not even controlled by the same very people that run it on the field, but they're not the ones running it off the field. There's more to life than just boxing yourself in. Think outside the box. Start breaking yourself from a 7-second fucking attention span. Start sitting quietly for 30 minutes so you can hear yourself, to understand that the insane asylum that you built, that you're trying to tear down so that you can let the real person come outside. That's exactly the message that I left on Young Miami's Instagram. I said, you have to simplify your life. You have to rid yourself of the bullshit that don't matter. You got to get yourself and lock in with God. God is going to simplify your life. You don't need all the things. You don't need validation from the people. You need validation within yourself. Because if you're not yourself, how you going to actually be able to help somebody else that may be going through the same similar situation? You have to break that. You have to break the curse of what you think that the world wants you to be, and be exactly what you called to be, yourself. To thy own self be true. Live thy own truth. And once you understand that, I told her at the last very part of that message, once you understand that you are supposed to be you, only then will you be able to enjoy life. Not behind your parents, not behind your boyfriend, not behind your children, but for you. I challenge you to tear down that insane asylum that you built for yourself. I challenge you to do that. You know why? Because then you're going to become a better person. Shout out to those that are working on that and chipping. I want to give my 2 cents. And we're going to close it out for tonight, man. Listen. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Don't add anything. Don't make it extra complicated. Keep your life simple. All the things that are going to matter in your 30s that you thought mattered in your 20s are no longer going to matter. All the things in your 40s and 50s, as you start to transition, you're going to notice the things that you have in your life are not going to matter as you get older. You're going to start simplifying things. Understand, as you get older, you're going to start removing all the stuff. You thought you needed 3,000 bags. You thought you needed 500 pair of shoes. You're going to want to get comfortable in a space where you're going to just be happy with a TV, a picture, a candle, or whatever. You're going to start simplifying your life. But I'm telling you right now, so that you don't clutter your life, keep it simple. You do not have to have a whole bunch of things to feel validated. Be the best you. Be the best you. If you know that you hard-headed and stubborn, work on that. If you feel like your attention span ain't up to par, work on that. If you feel like it's hard to negotiate with you, work on that. If you feel like sometimes your mouth gets the best of you, work on that. Do all of these things. But there should be a finished product. There should be a finished product that the world can see and be able to validate and verify. And when I say that, validate and verify, meaning it's going to be in your actions. It's going to be in your daily comings and goings. They're going to notice a difference. They're going to notice a glow. They're going to notice a spark. They're going to notice all the things that you used to lack thereof. They're going to see it increase. So I challenge you to keep your life simple. All of the things. Look at China and what they revealed about all of these luxurious items. They simple. All of what they made it seem it wasn't. Simple until you slap a name on it. So understand, your validation and symbolism. Validation and symbolism doesn't go together. Your validation is within what you make your legacy. Your validation is what you make your parents proud of, by not getting in trouble and doing all the stupid shit and put yourself in financial binds and putting yourselves in financial quagmires that you can't get yourself out of, that you have to rely on your parents, that they have to break as far as their retirement, as far as what they've built for themselves. Now they got to help you. No. No, keep your life simple. Understand that there is a growing process. There's a step to these things called life. I had to work my ass off to get here. I had to take losses. I had to fight 10 times as hard to get exactly where I'm at. And I'm not guessing my way through this because I'm not rambling on, because I fucking experienced it. You're not going to reach the top without going to the bottom first. Get used to it. Get out your feelings. Take your emotional glasses off. Do the necessary work, but keep it simple. Keep it simple. As you add on to your life and education, as you add on to your life and financial stability, keep your life simple. You don't have to be validated by shit, because as you know that these products aren't worth shit. So I challenge you, keep it simple. And I promise you'll be happier more in life than you ever been forever. Listen, man. I enjoyed y'all. Listen, I'm back, you know what I'm saying, better than ever. We're going to be here Tuesday. We're going to rock out. Whatever that happens in the city, whatever that happens across the world, we definitely going to discuss it, man. Listen to me. I appreciate all the love, the emails that I've gotten, people starting to chime in, especially the ladies. And I know that tonight was a very, very touchy subject as far as, you know what I'm saying, wanting to discuss something, but we are the platform to where you can come and you can have these conversations, because we're going to ask the tough questions. We want to get to the bottom. We're not no surface. We're not campfire around here. We really want people to be better. We really want people to grow around here. So definitely tune in. But I just want to say this. I would like to thank you all for joining tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come join the conversation and comment down below. Well, we coming to an end. So tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we definitely gonna have a lot to yap about. But I also wanted to end tonight's program with something special. Check it out. I got a new artist. He from H-Town. He's making his rounds. He's one of the most talented, you know what I'm saying? And he puts me in the mind of the many great artists like Travis Scott that have came out of Houston, that have went on to greatness. But I have to introduce you to him. Definitely. His name is Asteroid. The name of the song is Eternity. I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope y'all vibe to it. I hope you add this to your playlist, because it's definitely in mine. So until the next time, y'all, we definitely gonna yap about it. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And until the next one, good night. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, drop whatever you want to drop. And then, like I say, get into my stories. I'm going to be dropping questions there, and you will see me downtown, also in Third Ward, asking about these same things that we talked about on tonight's broadcast. So y'all tune in. And until the next time, we going to definitely yap about it. Asteroid, take us out. Good night.
It took some time for me to rise to these second times. Like these, I choose eternity from the heart that bleed to wombs. I read from the minds that seek what eyes can't see. Just say I know. I sing a melody, I know. On days are obsolete, I know. What she will want from me, I know. What he will wanna be, what's it like to be conscious? If I OD, then who starts talking? For my so-called widows in Austin, I leave some keys when we start talking. Hey mama, my words potent. And for the ocean, I'm on the coasting. Fuck the flow, then I'll be coasting. And for my motto, I'm still chosen. Spend my days back home and then I got high. Cause I've been caught up, so caught up. And days I wait for certain and will leave me hollow. But I'm glad I'm in. A lot of things tintin'. Lot of things transmit. Lot of things transcend. Lot of things for you. If you know. Lot of things for you. Oh, if you know. Hey. Beyond. 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 We go beyond. Now sing a melody beyond. On days of obsolete beyond. What she will want from me beyond. What he will wanna be.